Let's do a quick review of ThinkCentral Lesson 312 for homework. In this lesson, we're going to be asked to predict if we're going to use multiplication or division to solve the problem. So let's unpack it. There's a turtle. Let me draw a very bad looking turtle right here. You always draw pictures. And it crawls 5 yards in an hour. So if this was 1 hour, it would crawl 5 yards. How far will it crawl in 2 hours? So since I drew this picture, it's pretty easy to see that in 1 hour it's going to do 5 yards, and then in another hour it's going to do 5 yards because you have 2 hours total. So the turtle will crawl, this is 5 times 2, and that's going to equal 10 yards. So first answer is 10 yards. How far will it crawl in 1/6 of an hour? So 1/6 of an hour is less than an hour, so I need to divide the 5 yards into 6 parts. So that's 5 yards here, and that's how far it can go in 1 hour. So what is 1/6 of that? So it's 1/6 of 5 hours. We know of is times, so we're going to 1/6 times 5 yards, and that will be 5/6 of a yard. It's going to be able to crawl 5/6 of 1 yard in 1/6 of an hour. It will be able to do 36. If I did the full 1 hour, it would be 36 or 5 yards in 1 hour. So 5/6 yards in 1 hour. Of is times, 1/6 of is the answer. So it's going to be 5/6 yards in 1/6 hour. So we're going to multiply or divide. A picnic jug holds 1 gallon of lemonade. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that, and we're going to make that 1 gallon. Each paper cup, if I do a small paper cup right here, that will hold 1/15 of a gallon. How many paper cups can be filled? So if I take this cup, how many of these cups can I fill with this 1 gallon of lemonade? So that's going to be division, because I'm going to do repeated subtraction. I'm going to take away a 15th and a 15th and a 15th and keep going until I have none left. So that's the model that's going to help me. How many 15ths are in there? That's division. So I say 1 gallon divided, because division is repeated subtraction, by 1/15 will equal what? So that's going to be keep the gallon, change the sign, flip the divisor, and it turns into 15 whole. So that 1 gallon is going to fill 15 1/15 cups with the lemonade. So we're going to use division here. So we're not going to calculate the answer on this. We're just going to choose which is greater. So is it going to be greater to multiply 4,803 by 557 or divide? Well, if I'm going to multiply a big number by another big number, I'm going to get a much bigger number. If I'm going to take a big number and divide it by a big number, I'm going to get a smaller number. So A is going to give us the greatest answer. So asking us to predict what operation we're going to use, then predict the size of the result, and then solve the problem. So if Carlos can throw a ball 12 yards, there's Carlos. He throws the ball 12 yards. First thing I do is draw a picture of the problem to unpack it. If Raul throws it longer, or does Raul throw it longer or shorter than 12 yards? Well, he does 2/3 of that distance. So if you take this 12 yards and you split it into thirds, and you mark off 2/3 right here, is he going to be more or less? That's Raul there. Is it Raul going to be more or less than Carlos? It's going to be less, because it's not a whole number. So we're looking for 2/3 of, and of his times 12 yards. So 2/3 times 12, we're going to multiply. We're going to, I see a slash right here, common factor of 3, so divide 12 by 3 and 3 by 3, and we're going to end up with 8 holes. So Raul can throw it. We're going to use multiplication. Raul's throw will be less than 12 yards, and he can throw it 8 yards. All right, we got Puzzle Penguin here. He's decided to divide 5 cups in half for a recipe. So if you have 5 cups and you're going to cut it in half, how much will it be? So he does 5 divided by a half, but he shouldn't have done division because you're dividing it by 2. You're multiplying it by a half. So he's actually done it wrong. You're taking half of, and of is times. So he did it wrong. Division, dividing something half means dividing it by 2, which is the same as multiplying by a half. So you divided by 1/2. Calculation finds the number of halves in 5 cups. The correct answer is 5 times 1/2, and that is 2.5. Anytime you're stuck on problems like this, make sure you click the step-by-step because I think that's going to help you unpack the problem. If you want a prize, and the prize is n divided by a third, that means how many thirds are in n. So if this was n, how many thirds fit into this number? So you're dividing it by 1/3. You're subtracting 1/3 over and over and over. So let's say n is 6. So if this is 6, how many thirds are there in 6? Well, I'm just going to mark 1. If this is 1 of the 6, how many thirds are in that? Well, there are 3 thirds in one whole. So there would be 3 thirds in one whole, 3 thirds in another whole, 3 thirds in the third one, 3 thirds in the fourth one, 3 thirds in the fifth one, and 3 thirds in the sixth one. So that is a third, a third, a third, makes 1. So you're dividing. So 6 divided by 1/3 is the same as 6 times 3, keep change flip, which is going to be 18. So there will be 18 albums in your prize. And unpacking the final question, discuss what we've learned about the size of the answers. So if you're going to multiply by a whole number greater than 1, you're going to get a greater answer because you get more of the whole number. If you're going to multiply it by a fraction less than 1, you're doing a part of a part, so you get less than. If you divide by a whole number, by a number greater than 1, you're going to have smaller pieces of your answer. So like, if you have 10 and you're dividing it by 10, you're going to get 1, so you're going to get smaller pieces. But if you divide by a fraction less than 1, you're going to get more pieces. Think about a pizza. If you cut it, divide it by eighths, you're going to get 8 pieces. So 8 pieces is greater than the dividend, what you started with. So you're going to get more pieces here. That's it. Keep working hard. Stay off the videos and the games. Study your math and language arts and read. It's the most important thing you can do right now to prepare for a successful college experience.